Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl, Tiara Nicole Riley, your career coach. Now, because I know you did the things I told you to do in my last video, it's time to talk about that first interview. So it's either going to be in person or on video typically, and we are going to get into some things that you can do to set yourself apart. Those are two different processes, right? So kind of gonna dip and dab in between because it's the same thing, but they show up differently in the two different ways. So if it is a video interview, I want you to show up 5-10 minutes early. They can see when people have logged on. And under no circumstances should they be logging on before you do. They have the job. Don't make them wait for you. Okay? So you definitely want to hop on in advance. As we talked about in the last video, you should have a new set of questions because you're talking to a new set of people. Hello. You're talking to different people. You should have new questions. So your document should be prepared, all the things, right? The other thing I want you to do, so 5 to 10 minutes if it's a video interview. If it is an in-person interview, I want you seated and waiting on them 15 minutes early. I just do. Again, they have the job. They should never be waiting on you. And if you just have to sit there and wait, sit there and wait. It's really not that deep. Make small talk with the receptionist. Have conversations with the people that you run into. Like, that matters. Everybody that you interact with in that building, it matters. They're going to ask, oh, how was your conversation with so-and-so? I saw you talking to so-and-so. How's your conversation go, right? In-person interviews, I love bringing physical copies of my resume and my cover letter. It's a nicety. I'm sure they have your resume, but I usually print off a couple extras, just to, hey, I just wanted to give you my resume. Thank you for your time, right? Put your phone on silent, airplane mode if you have to. I have a feature on my phone called radio silent where absolutely nothing can come through. It don't matter how many times you call. It don't matter how many times you text. No favorites, nothing can get through. And this is the feature that I turn on when I'm going into an interview. Turn your phone off. Now let's talk about professional attire, shall we? Because recently there was a video, maybe a couple months ago, but recently there was a video that went viral on TikTok. Old girl showed up in shorts and got dismissed, and they told her to go home and change, and she was offended. Shorts are not professional. Jeans are not professional. Ripped attire is not professional. I don't care what the job is. If you're going in for an interview, dress professionally. Period. Yes, it may be hot outside, but my tip and trick for interviewing in the summertime is to wear a dress, first and foremost, if you're a lady. Wear a dress and bring a sweater to put on once you're indoors. They have the air on. You'll be fine. Okay? But your arms should not really be out. That's really not professional. Your thighs, for sure, should not be out. But you definitely want to make sure the dress is kind of, knee length, roundabout. Just look presentable. Hair color should be natural looking hair color. I don't want to see the blues and the purples and the orange. I don't want to see big hoop earrings and all the things. Get you a good professional wig if that's what it is. Let's look like we came to work. Yes, we have the Crown Act. Yes, we want to feel like we could show up as our natural selves. But the person you are at work should not be the person you are at home. Sorry, not sorry. It's just what it is. Right? Okay, so then from there, I want you to make sure you're, answering questions thoroughly. The STAR method is a great method that you want to start practicing. If you're not familiar with the STAR method, it's when they ask you a situational question and your answer, a situational question starts with tell me about a time. Tell me about your experience with, right? And STAR is situation, task, action, result, right? What was the situation? Describe it in briefly. What was your task in the situation? What did you do to address the situation? What actions did you take to fulfill that, right? And then what result did you get? What result did you get? What result did you get? Okay? as you're answering your question, and that's why you have to practice using the STAR method. But as you're answering these questions, it should flow like a conversation. But you want to hit those points. People need to know what it was. People need to know what you did and what did you accomplish. What result did you impact tangibly? This is your time to brag, okay? This is your time to brag, okay? So, and it just dawned on me, like maybe a service I need to offer too is like interview prep. So if you want to like do mock interviews and you go through that, I can kind of give you some feedback one-on-one. Definitely hit the link in my bio so we can discuss. But yes, definitely something we need to start doing because we need to start practicing our interviews and being able to speak and answer questions thoroughly without going on, on. I promise you, if you are the little engine that could and you just talk like you to energize a bunny, eventually I'm gonna tune out. I am. And you don't want to. You want to be able to tell stories in a way that's engaging. You want to be able to tell stories in a way that makes it fun. Well, I'm like, oh girl, what happened? Oh, cut it out. That got him, okay? People want to work with people they like. They just do. Nobody wants to be in. We spend a third of our life in work, okay? Like, honestly, nobody wants to be at work with people who are boring. It's just that on that. So learn how to tell stories and learn how to explain situations that paint you in a good picture and are engaging and conversational. Cool. So, that's pretty much it on the interview process. If I do want to say, so we talked about like the phone screen. We talked about, so if you're not getting phone screens, something's wrong with your resume. Period. If you're not getting through the phone screen, you're probably lying in your resume because typically the phone screen process is just to confirm that what you said is what you meant, typically. If you're not getting through the interview process, then we need to start practicing how you're interviewing, right? If you're getting to and I had this conversation with a client just yesterday. If you're constantly getting to the final interview and just not getting an offer, you're probably not doing anything wrong. Surprise. It's probably mindset. It's probably energy. It's probably, just law of attraction, right? Like that's when we need to start working on some of the mindset pieces of it behind it, right? Like if you're constantly getting to the final step in the interview, you're applying for jobs you're qualified for. We just need to start working on the energy we're putting around it so we can attract the job that we want. Now, we can still probably go over your resume. We can still probably do some mock interviews and things like that. However, we gotta work on our energy. Cool. In the next video, maybe we'll go into like offers and negotiation and benefits and things like that. I don't know. Anyways, drop your questions. Thanks, guys.